Every week in Northern Ireland, families are having to say goodbye to loved ones who are leaving the country. Some forced to look elsewhere because they can't get a job here. Others hoping for a better future for themselves and their children.
All the amount of student loans and student debt, there's no future for them at the minute anyway. Not around here.
For some, emigrating offers a chance of an exciting new start.
For anybody with a wee bit of get up and goes heading off, and we'll support you the best we can anyway.
Will you pay for it too?
That's maybe stretching it a wee.
They're torturing me, big red eyes in them.
For others, the decision to leave is a heartbreaking one.
It's hard seeing your family upset and knowing that it's you that's causing it.
For all of them, moving to a new country takes a huge leap of faith.
They don't know what's in front of them. It's the hard bit.
Departure Diaries follows some of those people in the lead up to the biggest move of their lives.
Whose is this one? That's your box.
The Yardley family are moving to the Isle of Man.
No, it's not. It's going.
Since his business folded, Rhys has been looking into job opportunities on the island where he grew up.
The Isle of Man is quite a big offshore financial sector, mainly to do with things like tax and corporation tax and things like that. I've got a lot of experience in the financial industry, so the jobs that I've mainly applied for are all to do with finance or customer service, things like that.
Although they have no departure date, they have decided to let their home near Balahi and rent somewhere nearby until their plans are finalised.
We've tried to sell our property in the past as well, and we just haven't been able to do that. So for all of this to happen, our only solution was to rent it out. But we'd also, when we do move to the Isle of Man, we actually want to buy somewhere as well. And in order for that to happen, I have to be there on the island and have a job and have at least 3 months pay slips as well. That's part of the transition that we have to go through as well to actually physically get there.
You need to be good. Okay.
But with just 3 days until the move, the Yardleys' plans have started to unravel.
I've been running around mental all day, phoning estate agents, looking on the internet, made out some little posters and stuck them up at the post office. We had another property agreed, but it has fallen through, so we're desperate for somewhere in the next couple of days. I suppose the sense of urgency is that we've rented our house out to tenants, and we're moving out because we know that they're good tenants, they're people we know and they're going to take it long term, which is what we want. We don't want to lose those tenants because we're back to square one again then.
When could we get a viewing at that?
We may have to put them back a week because I think at the minute it's almost too short notice now. With only having 4 or 5 days left to actually find somewhere. So, which we don't want to do.
Don't
but
have 4 or 5 days, we've
no.
got to Friday.
Well, yeah.
The Glens of Antrim have been particularly badly hit by the recession and emigration. Martin McLafferty grew up on a farm there, but he has his sights set further afield. He's planning on moving his family to Australia.
Always come over and helped out in the farm if anything needed to be done in that. Give my hand with sheep when they're dosing or whatever, but I've never really been that interested, to be honest. I went and done my time electrical and that there, and that's where I see myself working there rather than actually farming. There was periods where there was loads of work, even if you went out of a job, it's just a matter of phoning somebody else and you could get straight into another and probably the next day, but it's not happening anymore.
Martin had to go out away to work and maybe England for maybe 3 or 4 weeks at a time, maybe home 1 weekend at a time. That's not any good when you're there, and especially at the teenage age where they need their daddy.
Could have been doing 12, 14-hour days, so you were just going to work, coming home, get something to eat, and that was basically how you lived for 2 weeks.
It would be great if we could afford, to have them on the farm, but can't really. Farming's not that hot, so it's not.
Whenever there's periods where there was very little or no work, I would have been on the computer just going through seeing if there's any vacancies or something that would interest me. It just happened one day, it came up electricians in Australia, so I decided to apply for it and see how it went, and then after I'd done all that I asked my wife Janice how she would fancy it, and she says she would not be okay. I says too late anyway because I've already done it, so so I went down okay eventually, but
they have to leave because there's nothing here for him. Martin's coming now 40 and no sign of any jobs coming up. But it's one of these things. But I'm not a mother that, clings to the wee ones. I think they should do their own thing. I always said that children were lent to you.
I've just got a wee card I've left for this other family moving in.
All Joan's house hunting paid off, and just in time, the Ardleys find a place to rent.
Some bickies for them.
But Joan will have to manage the move on her own. Reese is on his way to the Isle of Man for a job interview.
I've actually just left there this morning knowing that's going to be the last time I'm there, so a bit emotional, but it's the way forward. So
come and get your stuff.
Joan's been fantastic. She's going to do most of the transitional phase from our own house to the new place while I'm away, and a bit more relieved now that that's sort of all settled and put to bed, so I can concentrate now on getting across the island and getting the job. So.
Every time a family leaves Northern Ireland, there's an impact on the community they leave behind. Rural sports clubs have suffered particularly badly as young players go overseas to find work. In Cushendall, hurling is more than just another sport.
Basically, if you're born and reared in Cushendall, you've tried hurling or camogie at some time. Everybody has. It's the heart and soul of the whole community. For a while there was plenty of work around home for the kids, and now it's all dried up again and kids are starting to leave. I think there's something like 12 guys have left here within the past few months, and now we see with Cormac McClafferty, his family, the whole family's going. But it's not only the talented players we lose. Like Cormac's mother and father are big supporters of the club. Like Martin and myself would have played together and that there, and he would have helped coach, and his wife would have helped out. So you're losing a whole family, which is a rare thing. It's very seldom a whole family goes, and they're going to be a massive loss to our community.
Come over.
Right. Front one.
Classic.
That was surprise of it.
Yep. Class.
This is not sliding yet. Huh?
The article I wrote in the newspaper was just the fact that we come from a very small community, and when you get a kid with talent, it's always there and basically to hold on to him, and he goes through the ranks and plays for the club senior, and then he goes on and plays for the county. And I just wrote about how, the time and effort and the development you put into him out there and watch him develop, and then he gets on a plane and it's all, not a waste of time or anything, but it just seems, from a totally selfish point of view from the club, he's going to be a big loss to us.
You don't play hurling, then just don't come to Cushendall. That's the way I say it. It's massive. Usually when you see a youngster about Cushendall, they have a hurling stick in their hand. So you go out and you meet your friends down the street, and you bring your hurling and you talk about with each other and just missing that meeting. So I'd be close with the majority of people. So and then just leaving it all behind and then going out and not knowing anyone. Whew, I don't even want to think about it. It's crazy. So, but sure, it'll all be worth it maybe.
The Ardleys' new home may only be a few miles down the road, but it's a step closer in their big move to the Isle of Man.
We're out of the other house and we're in here, and the boys are very excited, and things are a bit chaotic looking. I really don't know where we're going to start tonight. I think all the mattresses are lying in one room, and we'll just bed down there and throw as many quilts as we can over, so we've no heating to Tuesday. I'm relieved to be in. I'm glad that we're in, but I don't know where to start. And Reese will be home soon. I got a text message from him there a while ago. He's boarded the plane.
This is the funny scene.
I just want to go to a hotel.
What happened to my trousers?
I see that, darling. Marie, is there a spare room in your house?
The McClaffertys' move to Australia is only weeks away. Janice and the girls have made a start on the packing.
There you
Go understand.
Go on.
You won't find that in the dump. Be your first time on a plane. So well, and out of this country. So, be a bit exciting.
It's more for the kids because If they finish school here, there's absolutely nothing for them.
Too many games.
No, they're going in.
The amount of students you see nowadays that are degrees and that, and they're stacking shelves in supermarkets.
The Yardleys aren't moving to the other side of the world, but the effect on the community they leave behind is going to be just the same as if they were.
He's a bit of news for you.
I'm looking at jobs in the Isle of Man at the moment. That's right.
So you used to be moving then?
Yeah.
That's the plan.
That's right.
That's a big step for you, isn't it? Big step for
I've known Joan for approximately 30 years, 29, 30 years.
Not too much sweeties.
Them to take the step of going to the Isle of Man again to start over means new schools, new dentist, new doctor, new everything to them. And it's a big step, it's a harsh step for them to have to take. And especially with Joan leaving her family. It'll be difficult. It's sad that the family are leaving with 4 young children like that there. That affects schools, it affects us, affects other businesses. You're losing 4 kids from the workforce in another 10, 15 years.
Let me see yours.
There are a lot of kids from the probably 20 plus bracket leaving, going to Australia. Lots of those kids will never return. Some will, but lots of them won't. I call it the missing generation. We're going to have a missing generation. And it's sad, it'll be sad, yeah.
Dozens of young people have left the Glens of Antrim to find work in the past year, and local businesses are feeling the pinch.
Certainly has a big impact. Chippies, shops, buying houses. We see an impact there. Young ones that would normally be thinking about buying their first home, they're not there. They're away looking for work in other parts of the world. Some of them will be looking to come home and buy houses, but at this moment in time, the most of them are focused elsewhere.
Local businessman Danny McAllister has 2 daughters of his own planning on going to Australia.
The eldest girl is Emma, who has a beauty salon upstairs here. She started on her own. It's doing quite well, but she's this urge to go to Australia.
I'd love to do it, but just the pros and cons. I mean, the lifestyle out there, but then I've made it here.
Oh my God, work was mad today.
I had the salon for 6 years, so I am in a job, whereas most people are going there because they don't have a job. So I'd really have to think about it long and hard.
Lena's just graduated out of Queen's with a degree, but she's just had difficulty getting a job, and is for Australia now in the start of the year now.
I've done a planning degree and just finished a master's in urban design. I'm just currently working in the shop. I haven't got a permanent full-time job. I love my job, but obviously it's not to do with my degree, so I have been doing some research in jobs in Australia, and there seems to be loads of jobs out there.
I think there'll be a wee bit more out there than there will be in Cushendall, that's for sure.
It is a lot quieter for us. Like, we notice it even in the bars and that. Like, all the local ones are leaving. Like, all our age group is leaving.
Like, a lot of friends as well have left.
Yeah.
So
it seems like the thing to do now is to head away, isn't it?
Definitely. Loads of people from here.
My boyfriend, Seamus, he wants to go as well. So it just seems to be the right stage for us to go and really earn a lot of money to make a foundation for when we do come back, or, you know, we want to set up home when we come back.
Rhys has heard back about the job interview he went for on the Isle of Man.
I had word back there that unfortunately I wasn't successful.
Don't go down the hutch.
At the minute, I'm waiting to hear back on 6 other jobs that I've gone for. I keep checking up every day to see what news coming up, so just got to really sort of keep on the ball.
With the move to the Isle of Man no nearer, Joan is making the most of the time to be with her family.
I would maybe be here 2 or 3 times a week, with one of them or all 4 of them.
Can we get in the garden to see the rabbits? And that'll be their first question. And you'll try and talk them out of it maybe for half an hour if you're lucky. But they still keep coming back and asking. And then it's straight down the garden then to nurse and pet and talk to them.
And you used to call her Anne Marie because your hair is fluffy and her hair.
You think is that what it is?
Yeah.
Who's that, boys? Thumper, is he your favourite?
I want to do hay, I want to do sawdust, and I want to help with the water, and they love them. I think the rabbits will miss them too.
We're all close as a family, but Anne-Marie and I be very close.
We usually on a Sunday we would have a picnic. Even at this time of the year you'd get us anywhere with a picnic.
Do you love him?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's the cutest one in the world.
going to have to go to the Isle of Man more often. Never been in my life, but I'm going to have to go. So
everybody else is getting very emotional about it, and I'm just trying not to, because if I do.
The day that the container was there and we filled it, it was definite. It was like all real. It was like, it's really real.
It's hard seeing your family upset and knowing that it's you that's causing it. It's difficult.
Today marks the start of the McCafferty's move to Australia.
It's just a matter of counting down the days and trying to get through everything, trying to get the car sold and different things.
That's crazy. You're just running about making sure everything's okay.
Because you expect to be doing it yourself, getting everything ready, and then I think it's even more strange seeing men doing it.
Although they don't fly for another couple of weeks, their belongings are being shipped out ahead of them.
It takes 12 to 14 weeks to get there, so that's why we're actually sending it out now. So we won't be without it for too long whenever we get there. Probably not sink in until it's all empty and you just realise, my God, actually going, and that's so.
I say it'll even be worse when the kids come home.
Aye.
And then realise everything is gone. The PlayStation's away, the Wii's away, hurling sticks away. It's going to be hard during summer not watching Cormac play hurling. And Aoife's not playing camogie. Just been born into it, love it. Aoife actually started, I think she was 3, because I was taking under 10s, under 8s at that time, so I had no babysitter for her, so she was taken down with me. I came in running on the first game, and somebody goes, why is she there? Look at the size of her. I don't know what they're going to do about it. As you can see, there's been extra one spot to take out with us.
It's the majority of it gone.
No, just glad it's away. That's one less thing to worry about. Just so bare now. It's actually happened.
It's not only family and friends that the Ardleys are going to miss, it's their community and also their culture, and that's something that they can't recreate on the Isle of Man.
They've been coming here since we first moved here, and Alex went to a reception class at the school, and then Dylan and Keelan and Noah, well, they've just been coming from their baby sitting on my knee, so they just joined in when they were fit to walk, and they love coming here. There's loads of fun, loads of music, and they enjoy it.
Well, I get the blame of favouring the boys. That sounds terrible, but I do. Especially in teams, you have 3 boys and then you need another one. And one leaves you then. I blame you.
In my head is the roundabout. Sometimes it's most definitely the right thing to do, and then other times it's, why am I doing this? Because I can see that Reese will be much happier at home. Like, he's been here 10 years, and it has been hard for him, it really has. The boys as well, job-wise, for them in a few years' time, I just think it's the right thing for them. And then I'm so convinced of that, and then in the next thought I think to myself, why am I taking them away from everything that they know and everything that they love? And it's not the right thing for them.
Come on, walk on.
News of the McClafferty's departure hasn't taken long to spread round Cushendall, where emigration, who is leaving and where they are going to, is the talk of the town.
Not much heat out today, anyway.
No heat today at all.
So,
when are you heading away?
Heading away in January.
Out on the heat. Funny, I had 2 boys on the phone there. 17 degrees out there, and it's 10:30 at night.
Ah, that's brilliant.
7 of them went out together, and they've kind of split into a 4 and a 3. And they're all working. And over here, they will be still lying about, pulling their hair out of their heads, saying, what are we going to do for money here?
Dominic, what's that like?
One for you, yes, it's a chick flick.
Yes, it's a chick flick.
The only thing, it'll be a big miss. Here's your son.
Well, so
he'll be a big miss for the hurling now. You imagine the amount of boys who's moved over there from here.
Right enough, there's a right few away.
Probably 2 or 3 hurling teams over there from the Glen Santer, anyway. You know. But in them boys, they phone me every Friday, so
that's not too expensive to phone either.
No, it's not. When I see an international call come up, I say, oh, here comes Australia again. So what I say. Here, all the best.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
You looking forward to getting away or what?
While Helena and Emma Louise McAllister may not be leaving for several months, Australia is still the main topic of conversation in their home.
Anybody with a wee bit of get up and goes heading off, and there's nothing for them here in the Glens, and no jobs, no prospects. I noticed it in the village at night there. It used to be you went down to the village on a Saturday night or a Sunday night and there was a pile of youngs sitting in cars or a wee bit of fun, and the other Sunday night I was sitting with a fella outside the office and there was nobody in the street at 9 o'clock on a Sunday night. Sure, we were talking about 32 or 33 of them that we knew
Past month. In this
last month or two. And I say they're at the age for it now, you're in your 20s, and if you don't do it now, you'll not do it when you're in your 50s or 60s. And get up and go for it, you know, and that's what I say, have a go at it. Your mother might maybe think that.
No, I know.
Maybe a few tears.
She doesn't want
and
to
things,
see us go, but she knows that it's good for us. It will be.
Well, if you make a big time in the you can always fly her out. You know.
That's if we can get her on a plane. I think Mum's come round to the idea now. At the start, it was a definite no. You're not going. You'll not leave me. But now that she knows that we're so set on doing it, yeah, now she definitely has come round. She knows that there's so many more opportunities out there, and it's the best thing for us at this time.
I'm happy enough for you going because I know that if I needed to get you home or get out to you, it's only a day away.
Yeah.
You know, you're only a phone call away, and we can see you on Skype if you can get your hair and your makeup fixed up.
Don't know about that. You've seen us first thing in the morning.
Well, I've seen you first thing in the morning. I know how rough you are.
Charming.
As the McLaffertys pack up the rest of their belongings, the realisation that they are actually emigrating is starting to hit home.
I think it's been a bit stressful. Tempers have been on edge for the odd time, but I think the closer we get to it, it's a bit easier and everything, and everybody's more or less, I think they're just looking to finally get out and move on to the next chapter.
We have to stop moving in. Is that for you? I know we take it for granted, but putting bags into the car there and realising I'm not going to see it every day. You would only see that in a picture. You'll not get that anywhere else in the world. It's just absolutely, to me, that's just home. Sea, mountains around it. You've got everything. Oh.
Apple zombie lab, where is
It's nearly Christmas, and the Yardley boys are getting their lists ready for Santa.
There's one.
Kindle, that's all I'm looking for.
Which one is that? It's in the Isle of Man this week for another couple of interviews, and hopefully, fingers crossed, they've gone well. Had a bit of feedback from them there just on Friday, and I've got one more phone call to get through, so fingers crossed it's looking quite good.
Who's going to put this on the door?
A few months ago I was starting to get a little bit anxious because things were starting to drag their heels a little bit, but I'm a lot more in a much better place now, knowing that, you know, things are starting to sort of fall into place.
Fantastic!
Helena and Emma Louise McAllister's mum is coming to terms with the fact that she might not have the girls with her next Christmas.
I find it hard that they want to leave and go away, you know, but it's a big world out there and they might as well. Can't keep them at home forever.
Emma Louise is still weighing up her options, but Helena plans to leave in March.
I was devastated. I kept thinking, oh, she'll not go. You know, it's only talk. But no, as the times went on, she has just said, no, Mum, I want to go and see how it goes. I just hope that she will come back.
What's mine?
The McLaffertys have spent their last Christmas in Northern Ireland with Martin's parents. Tomorrow they leave for Australia.
I've got Martin's son all packing.
Not really, no.
Not really?
I'm not allowed to. I would only make a mess of it.
He has a full-time job to go to, so that is the big weight off the shoulders.
Without that, I don't think we'd take the plunge, would we? You feel like she's just whatever comes along, she just goes with the flow. Amy, you asked her, are you excited? It went from yes to a bit now. So I says, well, why are you just a bit? And she says, because of the flying and that. She's a wee bit nervous of that, so as long as it's nothing more than that, it's not too bad.
That's my foreign class.
all the Eagles gave it to me, so they did, as a leaving present. When I got it, I was pretty emotional because they're on your face and then they're saying how bad it is that you're leaving and all. So at the age I am, I basically got close to a lot of people, and then having to leave that and trying to get close to other people, that's what I'm pretty scared about. So that's probably going to be the hardest thing. Apart from that, no, because I'm loud and all, I just hope they get on with people.
Cormac gave me a leaf. Remember us and let us know how you're getting on. You're a bit anxious about how quickly they'll make friends and things like that, but if they're out going there as they are here, it should be okay. Good luck, I'll miss you so much.
Pass me a plate there, please, Alex.
Me too.
Rhys Yardley has accepted a job in the Isle of Man and starts work there tomorrow.
This is the last supper. Daddy won't be having lunch with us again until a fortnight's time. The reality's here now. He'll be away and we'll be here. And it'll be tough for the boys because especially Noah, I know he's the youngest, you'd think it'd be easiest on him, but whenever Rhys comes home in the evening, he goes running to the door, Daddy's home. So who's going to miss Daddy? Me.
And him. Now you're going to miss us.
I'm going to miss you very much. I'm hopeful I'll get back every at least 2 or 3 weeks, so it won't be too bad, but at the same time, it's still going to be tough not being here with Joan and the boys as well.
What will you miss?
His iPod.
You'll miss his iPod. He said it kicked in for him when he was packing his bag that he was going and he wouldn't see us for 2 weeks. So although he's positive, he's a bit like myself. You just gotta keep it in there, but when we're together, just him and I, we talk about our worries and our fears.
Yeah, I love you.
In front of the kids, and probably in front of most people, it's all very, oh, this is so exciting, we can't wait to get started our new life. Say bye, Daddy, we love you.
While it will be tough without him, Joan knows that she'll see Rhys again in only a matter of weeks. As the McClaffertys set out on their journey to Australia, their family know it could be years before they see them again.
Martin and Janice knows that we would never hold them back. This is what they wanted, and we never once said, don't go. We wouldn't even contemplate it, so we wouldn't. They had to get away because it was getting to the stage where Martin was getting depressed at having to go away to work and not seeing the wee ones maybe for 3 or 4 weeks. Janice was left to rear the wee ones, and mind you, it's not easy rearing 16-year-olds.
Take care.
I'm going to miss Martin and Janice, yes, but we were that well used to the grandwains over at Wathes.
See you later, Granda.
It's going to be hard on the grandson, as more so than the girls. It's unbelievable the presents that young fella got from all his friends, and it broke his heart last night after saying cheerio to all his friends.
Okay, Martin, see you later.
Out. I'm going to miss them all, but it's a definite the 3 wains because they don't know what's in front of them. So it is. It's the hard bit.
Bye.
Next time on Departure Diaries, barrister Dane Barr packs away his gown and wig in search of work in the Far East.
That's one of the tools of my former trade.
The couple swapping stacking shelves in Tomb for career opportunities in New Zealand.
I haven't really had the heart to tell him that if it goes well, I could stay out there longer.
And the Lurgan man planning more than a busman's holiday in Melbourne, Australia.
And yes, you can see that next Monday at 10:35. Next tonight, though, comedy for you, Being Eileen.